Good morning, and thanks so much for tuning into the trade setup after a day of some serious correction in the mid cap and the small cap end of the market, particularly on the PSU side. But first, the global news flow. Nasdaq closed lower by about 1% on Tuesday as Apple slid and tech suffered. Oracle too shed about 13%. Remember, Oracle was down about 10-11% in pre-open since day before yesterday. Taiwan is warned China will ratchet up the military pressure after a record number of warships sail nearby Taiwan. Oil jumped 2% to near 10-month highs as OPEC predicted tight supplies. And Apple raised prices of iPhone 15 Pro Max by $100 to 1199. It was an interesting event. I've read some of the reviews, but the team at PQ Prime has done some fabulous work. And if you go to our social media pages, you will see a bunch of activity from there. So could be interesting information for you. Nevertheless, US stocks, like I said, Apple was probably one reason, and then some others, as a result of which NASDAQ in particular was down about 1%. The Dow was flattish, S&P 500 down about 0.5%. Yields have stayed steady, 4.29, 4.28 or thereabouts. So no big changes there. 4.28, S&P 500 VIX went up a little bit. The dollar index too steady at about 7:30 a.m. The gift Nifty indicates a start which is marginally in the green. Now, that may happen, may not happen. The inflation numbers are positive. So sure, the headline numbers may look okay because frankly, yeah, let's bring up the trade setup plate as well. If you just look at what happened yesterday, the Nifty and the Nifty Bank were both flat. The Nifty Bank was down about 0.13%. So both the major indices were flattish in trade. They didn't buckle. It seemed like a very bad market because mid caps and small caps really cracked. More so the small cap end of the market, which is down 4%, and more so the PSU basket, which was certainly lower. Some sharp cracks that came into the PSU names in particular. 10, 11, 12% is not a normal day's play. And as a result of which, it looked slightly wobbly at the broader end of the spectrum. The inflation data is constructive in India, could help the sentiment on rates in the medium term. But the mid-cap crack, remember, had fundamental reasons beyond valuations too. And these factors, now whether it's of a personnel in a global fund, and a lot of rumors doing the rounds, lots of talks doing the rounds. As mainstream media, I wouldn't want to kind of dwell upon too many things of it, but I think it could settle in the next few days. So remember, when cracks come in at the broader end of the spectrum, if the valuations are supportive, then the cracks get easily absorbed. If they were anyways trading at premium valuations, then there could be some bit of a downtick that could follow in the next few days before there is a bit of sanity. Now, it could happen today, it could happen over the next few days. So bear that in mind. Two important data points that came out yesterday, CPI, IP. Now, CPI was the important one, right? So Nomura's note on CPI, Sonal Verma and the colleagues write that the underlying inflation pressures continue to ease. They expect a sharp fall in CPI inflation to circa 5.5% YOY in September, which brings it back within the RBI's target range. They see continued fall in vegetable prices, an impact of cut in LPG cylinder prices, and capped core inflation pressures leading to this. Inflation respite amidst stable growth could, and according to them, should solidify RBI's policy hold. They expect the first rate cut in February with about 100 basis points of easing through 2024. This is not a bad inflation print. And I remember Dr. Michael Patra clearly saying that they are not worrying too much about the vegetable prices because they hope, he used the term hope because he's careful, right? He used the term hope that the prices will come off. And I think we're seeing the signs of that. Hopefully in the next couple of months, this whole vegetable inflation, especially around the festive season, eases, and that only aids the rural side meaningfully. Certainly hope that happens. The other thing that will happen today is RR Cable's IPO. It opens today. The wire and cable manufacturer plans to raise about 180 crores via a fresh issue and 1,784 crores via OFS. The price band is fixed at 983 to 1,035 apiece. Analysts recommend subscribe for listing gains as well as holding for the longer term. Now, a lot of people argue that when an IPO comes in, the other companies in the listed space also get a boost. Polycap doesn't require a boost. That stock is trading at premium valuations nevertheless, and that's the leader, and some of the others will be the followers. But yeah, watch out for RR Cable, TPG backed, a solid company, products being used on an everyday basis at multiple homes. And this one could see some fanfare, so be mindful of that. But remember, the IPO or the issue is not that high. It's only 180 crores. The point is the OFS is the larger portion. So bear that in mind. Okay, now I was talking about PSUs among stocks to watch. Those come top of the mind. And what we've done is we've tried to take the percentage cuts that happened yesterday and the delivery percentages or the quantum of stock marked for delivery. As you can see in a clutch of names, and I have only included 5 because I can't include everything, but in a lot of these names, so Cochin Shipyard, RVNL, BHEL, the delivery percentages are very, very low. So it's not that a lot of people came in to buy because the stocks were down 10, 11%. It happened maybe in an EIL, 44% mark for delivery, which is pretty good. But otherwise, uh, just came off, and therefore that is a problem that's happening in the PSUs as well as the small caps per se. Now there's a viewer query that should we invest in small caps with reasonable valuations. I think that's a query that is coming on the show. Here's the deal that, and the way I think about it, Vasu, good morning, is that uh, when when the tide turns, even the good ones take a hit. Sure, in yesterday's session, ITI, for example, PSU, small cap, but went up, clocked in a high of 175. So there are these anomalies, but largely stocks will probably come off lower. And therefore, let's see how the trade stabilizes, whether it does today, whether it does tomorrow. It is better to buy a stock which is falling after it stabilizes and moves up a little bit. It's okay to buy it 5% higher. That's what all the wise men tell me. So, Vasu, small caps with reasonable valuations is a great pocket to look at. The timing you got to figure out. I mean, you can buy it right now as well, provided you are okay with seeing the stock drift down a little more if indeed the wider small cap space comes down. So, just bear that in mind. An SIP is not a bad idea if you know the stocks that you want to buy in the small cap universe, because you don't know when they will stabilize. They could stabilize today, they could stabilize 5 days from now, or they could stabilize maybe later as well. So maybe do an SIP. At least you buy it at all price points and don't have to grumble later on. So I hope this helps. Nevertheless, stocks to watch in the session today. There are not too many, but watch out for the oil upstream companies because OPEC has signaled a supply crunch, as a result of which crude prices have only inched higher. So maybe ONGC and Oil India could be in focus today. So watch out for them. KEC International has secured new orders worth 1,000 crores. Maybe that stock could be in focus. Now, normally for an announcement like this, the rights would have shot up. They signed an MOU with CFM Angola for cooperation in the development of railways and related infrastructure, including the supply of rolling stock. Remember, there is no financial tangible benefit that has been announced, but this is good because it's a large company in Angola with which this has been signed. So this is more Indian companies helping other states or other countries get up to date on development and infrastructure. This could be potentially beneficial for rights. Whether that is captured in the price or not, anybody's guess. But like I said, railways, defense, PSUs under the eye of a storm currently. Maybe this sees some positive reaction today. Maybe it just doesn't. Like I said, it's anyways a great statement of intent. Don't quite know when the financial benefits come in. Wari Renewable has received a letter of intent, so could be interesting. The other piece is uh, there were new banking norms that were announced yesterday, and I just thought I will get to you what Jeffries has to say when it comes to that. The new investment norms. According to Jeffries, it lowers the earnings volatility and opens the door to MTM gains. So they say that the new norms on classification of investment aim to take India closer to IFRS with limited disruption. So across 3 classifications, various things being mentioned, but the moot point is the third line. As the MTM changes in AFS will be changes in AFS will be via reserves, volatility in PNL may fall. So largely doesn't seem to be too negative. But this is the view from Jeffries. We'll try and get uh, what uh, what has to be, what a banking analyst has to say sometime during the course of the day. So please be mindful on that as well. So that's a few things. What else? PNC Infratech, HDFC MF has hiked the stake. Like I said, Oracle was down, and uh, therefore OFSS could be in focus as well. So do watch out for that one. Then, yeah, largely these are the set of things that IOL Chemicals has said that they may increase the prices as well, as per some media reports. So these are two or three names that I thought I should bring to your notice. Okay, viewers, thanks for tuning into the trade setup. Have a great day. I thought it's best with the Nifty at 20K, but the mid caps doing what they are uh, to try and get in a large global view. Mark Matthews of Bank Julius Baer Johnson on Talking Point today to give his view on life beyond 20,000 for the Nifty. Do try and tune in for that. The mutual fund show today at 4 with Rushabh Desai and Bryn Agarwal to tackle a couple of important topics. You might want to tune in for this one as well. And of course, the normal trade talk conversations happen at 8:30, 11, and 3:15. Hope they help you in your trading queries. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Trade Center.